Monday, Tuesday, Gronk Day in a place you scored a touchdown or two. I am at MetLife in New Jersey celebrating all sorts of things, footballs of all kinds. We got lots to celebrate potentially with Gronk, Belichick, Hall of Fame bound, finalist talk. Let's do it. We will talk Pats. We will look ahead to week 14. I can't believe it. Big time playoff implications on both sides. And I will also tell you some things that we are underreacting to around this beautiful football league. It's Wednesday on the Up and Adam show. We are live. I am live. It's very funny. Hamilton comes to visit in LA. Doesn't really tell me, hey, I'm planning on coming to visit. So then I made plans to come out here for the day, Hammy, to New York, where you wouldn't have wanted to see me anyway, because I've been to New York a million times lately and you haven't made an effort to hang out. So we probably saw each other. We saw each other for a plane air delay with Mark Donovan, team president of the Chiefs. And that was a lot of fun. Gronk on the show today, which we love. And thank goodness for Gronk for hanging out with us for the entire show on a Wednesday. But I went from an empty stadium in Kansas City where there was snow and Mark Donovan to MetLife, another empty stadium, where I will be hanging out with Landon Donovan. Let me tell you what I'm up to. You know, I love the Panini fam. We teamed up with them, of course, rookie premiere here on the show. They're releasing, you know, the stickers, the World Cup stickers. It is the album, Panini America album cover reveal. Very special event here. Very excited to be here. And I get to interview Landon Donovan and Pavel Pardo and Julian de Guzman of Canada because, of course, the World Cup 2026. FanDuel is going to be all over it, too, just so we're clear. And I'm getting a nice little starter course with the World Cup, which I guess is happening in L.A., which I don't know if people like or not. What do you think? Way to put you on the spot.
I think
Talk
about
World Cup to me, Hammy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's exciting to have it in LA. I mean, SoFi is a gorgeous venue for it. That's going to be fun. I can't believe we're less than a year away already. Big moment for this country, for Mexico, for Canada, too.
I do want to say this before we flip ahead to week 14. I'm here in the world of, Jackson Darts Giants, and then, of course, the Jets. And I've been watching for the past hour, empty stadium. And there, I'll show you in the break. I'm too scared to lose the Wi-Fi in the actual show right now. But I think every NFL fan, every Jets fan in particular, you should have to sit in the stadium for 30 minutes at a time alone and just watch them and the maintenance and the hard work and the effort and the attention to detail and pride and work that the crew here with the painting of the Jets and the changing it from Jets to Giants. It is unbelievable, and it's meditative. It puts you where your feet are. You have an appreciation for it. I think it's necessary, especially for these two teams here at MetLife.
Yeah, that's a great point. I feel like the fans don't necessarily think about that part of it enough, and especially in that stadium with all the changes that have to go on and make it feel unique for each fan base. It's a great point.
Yeah. It's very, very cool. We'll talk football of all kinds here, but shall we flip the page? We flip sides of the country. You and I, you're literally in LA. I'm in New York. That's okay. New Jersey. I know. I get it. Let's look ahead and see who are the Jets playing? Who are the Giants playing? If you look at the slate of action, well, it all starts tomorrow. Huge one. Cowboys, Lions, short weeks. Detroit 3-point faves at home, even without Sam Laporta, potentially without Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was missing from practice yesterday. Interesting. Gronk and I will dish out some prop bets for that one and prop a shot in a bit. We've got our first edition of Steelers-Ravens in Baltimore. First place in the AFC North on the line. Lamar and company, 5.5-point faves there. Pittsburgh claimed Adam Thielen yesterday. They're trying to give Rodgers a little something. Maybe they should have kept a little something in the eyes of a George Pickens who's playing. I don't know. We'll see how big a role Thielen can play in that one. Bills 5.5-point faves over the Bengals in Buffalo. This is the one, people. If the Bengals win this, and they should, and they might, they're going to win the division. They're plus 850 to win the North as of this morning. Might be worth having some fun now because I'm venturing to guess that return gets cut in half if they pulled this off. It is Wednesday, which means it's time for Rob Gronkowski. It is time for underreactions as well. Here are some storylines. Yeah, you guys can tweet the Up and Adam show if you're watching on Twitter. We appreciate you. Go subscribe to the YouTube page. Some of our best work gets done in those YouTube breaks when I bleed into them and run into them, which is not really great that I do that, but sometimes I do because I'm just excited to talk a little ball here. These are our underreactions, things that aren't getting enough love headed into week 14. I want to start with the big dogs in the AFC South because I love Matthew Hamilton longtime friend of mine, and I love the Jags fans. And Indy's got to do something. And Coach Lou and hobbled Daniel Jones against this Jags team if they want a prayer for some playoff action, because the Jags are on top, okay? They're atop the AFC South. And I think that we are underreacting to how this offense in Jacksonville has really found a little groove over the last month. Over the first 7 weeks of the season, this was a 25th ranked offense. They were bottom 10. It was messy. It was not good. If you look at this now, since Jacksonville's maybe perfect bye week in week 8, they've been a top 5 offense. They've scored just under 30 points per game, going 4-1 over the last 5 weeks. And the scary thing about this is that it feels like they're just getting started, because now they have most of their pieces back in the lineup. Brian Thomas Jr. back after a 3-game absence. He's huge, okay? They got to win over the Titans on Sunday. There we go. I am hoping we see him back on track and healthy. Tight end Brenton Strange, great football name. He's missed a month and a half. We haven't seen him. He had 138 and a score since he got back 2 weeks ago. And if you add those two to the mix, with this at the buzzer deadline situation, bringing in Jacoby Myers, who's been a revelation for this team, which nobody seems to be talking about after coming over from Vegas. Parker Washington, anyone? That's right. We're starting our national show with Parker Washington, because he really stepped up when BTJ was dealing with his stuff, okay? All of a sudden you have depth, you have chemistry, you have confidence with these guys, and Trevor has weapons on weapons at his disposal, not to mention a very dynamic run game, as we know, with ETN and Tootin. So it's absolutely wild to think that they've been scoring at this rate while Trevor has thrown 7 touchdowns, 6 picks over this stretch, okay? With all the pieces back, it's go time. If we can turn up the heat here down the stretch, are we going to 2017 this baby? Are they going to be a contender in the AFC? Maybe. The defense has been great too. Kind of last thing we're waiting on here. I'm going to see some things from the defense, but we know that they have the talent. Okay. So what are we underreacting to, guys? Let me know. I'm looking at the Twitter feed right now, sitting here in Jersey on the East Coast. Gronk on the way. We've got some Hall of Fame breaking news this morning to talk to him about, but I'm on the East Coast, AFC East. Okay. The Dolphins season, somewhat of a wash. Tyrann Mathieu saying that Mike Tomlin should be the coach down there. Maybe that's the future holds. But for now, I don't want to underreact to Devon Achan's ascension into a very interesting 2025 top tier of running backs. Okay. We have to give him his due. He's always had the talent to enter that class, but now he's been given the opportunity here, and the results have been truly staggering. He had 20 plus carries just once in his first 38 career games. I'll say that again. Achan got the ball 20 plus times once in his first 38 career games. He's now gotten 20 plus carries in 3 straight games. He has he's running the Dolphins. They won 3 straight games with him averaging 154 total yards a game on 6.6 yards per carry. So impressive. Are you kidding me? He's as explosive and as versatile as you see in this National Football League. And this recent run of success has really put him in some rare air, okay? With his latest rushing score, and that was this past Sunday, he is now the 6th player, just the 6th guy in the Super Bowl era to have 20 plus rushing touchdowns and 10 receiving touchdowns within his first 3 years in the league. Hamilton found that, and that deserves a little love here. And I hope he sees this. Dolphins fans, I hope you see it. Retweet it. Give me some fire emojis, rocket emojis, explosive emojis, whatever you want. Spicy pepper, whatever you want to do. It's him. It's Kamara. It's CMC. It's Roger Craig, a legend. Hall of Famer Marcus Allen, my crush, and Chuck Foreman, and that's it. So that is insane, right? Think about the fact that he's on this list, even though he missed 6 games his rookie year. And he has 5 games to go still in 2025. What in the world? That's crazy. I also want to mention 5.6 yards per carry, tops on that list. Kamara is the only other guy on there that averaged over 5. So very, very necessary to recognize Achan as a legit superstar in this league. Hemi, really quick. It's 5.6 or 6.6? It's 6.1 now? What is it now?
So he's averaged 6.6 over this 3-game streak where he's getting those 20 plus carries. He's averaging 5.6 for his career, which is up there with the all-time greats too.
Something to hang your hat on. Hang your head on. As a Dolphins fan, is he locked up there? Is he staying there? I don't know.
He's still on his rookie deal. They're going to have to sign him to an extension soon for sure. But yeah, that's the biggest bright spot out of this season. They found themselves a genuine superstar.
Yeah, unbelievable. And so it's not just, the games where you're watching his highlights against the Bills and you can say they were in defense. It's not that. That was just part of what he has done and really what he's done for these 38 career games. Okay, I have to tell you that we have been texting about one person every week. Hamilton and I. We watch all the games, of course, separately on separate coasts, and we will text about certain things happening. And no name has showed up more week in, week out with more exclamation points than Marcus Jones. Me to Hamilton, Hamilton to me. We were on a plane. We weren't sitting next to each other. We're just texting each other about the greatness. And yes, Drake May, Vrabel, fantastic. We are underreacting to Patriots corner Marcus Jones and what he has meant on a 10-game winning streak on a potentially Super Bowl bound AFC winning, 1-seed winning Patriots team. I am not exaggerating. He has made a game-breaking play every week. 87-yard punt return. Let's take a look at it. Touchdown to get the Patriots going and then win over the Panthers, of course. A feisty winning Panthers squad. The 61-yarder he had a little bit later in that game. My goodness, they were down 6-0 before this and won. It's so fun. And won 42-13 was the final score. How about picking off Josh Allen in the red zone? Let's take a look at that. There we go. Sunday Night Football. Not only did this prevent a Bills score, it led to a Patriots touchdown that absolutely changed things around, turned the table, put them up by double digits. Can we see? I guess we just saw the Ravens pick 6. Here it is. Look at that. Right time, game-breaking play, pure instinct there. Tricks Flacco. He thought he had the check down open, didn't he, old man Flacco? New England trailing at that point, and they never trailed again after that score. And then there was, let's take a look, the 94-yard punt return. Cue the have a holly jolly Christmas here. Just a nice jog. Unbelievable. This broke the Giants, in my opinion. Marcus frickin' Jones is one of the most dangerous playmakers in the entire league. And he doesn't even play on the offensive side of the ball, though he has, and wish he did. By the way, he did something pretty cool with his punt return as well that you're seeing. It's unbelievable. He hit his 75th career punt return, which now qualifies him on the all-time leaderboard, which he currently sits atop, by the way, averaging 14.6 yards per return in his career. And that is very significant. As you can see here, no one else on this list has done that in the last 40 years. And the impact, let me tell you this, Marcus, Amani, his lovely girlfriend, the team, I've heard he is, whenever I ask anybody or bring up Marcus Jones, it is always followed by, there's no better guy. There's no better human. There's no better guy. And there's a lot of great guys up there. What he does in the community, he's used his passion of making music to help make a difference. Covered by Music is the foundation, okay? He inspires and supports young musicians with musical education programming, mentoring, life transformation skills that they might not have access to. He's doing this week in, week out, a huge part of why they come back, why they stay on top, everything in between. So love Marcus Jones. And I'm not just saying this because he's a Patriot. So is our next guest, a 4-time Super Bowl champ. Gronk is here.
The old world tight end, the 6'7" freak. You can call me the GOAT. Rob Gronkowski. Touchdown!
Oh my goodness.
Go.
Holy guacamole!
The greatest of all time, bro. They call me GOAT.
4-time Super Bowl champion, a true GOAT, future Hall of Famer, studio analyst for Fox NFL Sunday, coming to us live from what I'm going to imagine is the Grand in Boston. Is that where you are?
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now, okay? I'm in the club getting tipsy this Wednesday morning. I'm turning up. This is Gronk from, 2012. No stopping me. I'm crazy.
That is literally the lighting at the Grand. And I don't believe you if you say any different.
I actually only been to the Grand one time in my life, so I can't really recall what the lighting is there. It's pretty impressive that you even know what the Grand is, because it's not like it's been around for, 15, 20 years. They kind of just opened it recently within the last 10 years, but it is the #1 nightclub in Boston when everyone goes out. That's what they
Weirdly
say
enough,
they're
the
doing.
night you were there, I was there. I remember it very, very, very well. That's why I said it.
You were there the night I was there at the Grand. I was there one time in my life, and you were there.
I think so, yeah. I believe so, when it opened. Yeah.
No, I wasn't there for the opening.
Oh.
It was 2 years later, but I know a lot of guys went to the opening.
Yeah. I just feel like you're everywhere, larger than life. I don't know where you are, but I love it. Hey, I don't know if you've seen this yet. since you're at the Grand and you've been up all night. Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick are finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Not a surprise, but it was released and it's celebratory and newsworthy this morning. If you were in the room making the case for each of these guys, what would you say?
Yeah, actually, I made the case when I did the 1 day contract. I actually went into the Patriots little cinema area where they do their shoots, and uh, I talked about Mr. Kraft being a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame and also Coach Belichick. And I'm 100% on board with it. I don't see why both of them wouldn't be in it. Maybe at separate times they would both go in, but I can see both of them being not just finalists, but getting accepted as well. And they both are deservingly so. I mean, RKK, he bought the team back in whatever year it was, 96. 1994, whenever it was. I mean, it was a diminishing team. They wanted to move across the country or wherever they're going to move to, and he wanted to keep the team there in Foxborough, and he made some maneuvers to keep it there, and he was been all in. It's not like it's an owner where he has money and he buys the team and it's just for a financial investment. RKK bought the team because he wanted to be a part of it. He loves the game of football. He wanted to grow the New England Patriots, and he also wanted to grow within the community as well, and it has shown when you're a part of it and you care, that's when the wins come as well. And that's why he has 6 Super Bowl championships under his belt. And RKK definitely, as an owner, deserves to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And then you got Coach Belichick. And it's not even his time with the New England Patriots why he should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's also because the tenure he had in the NFL prior hand. He just doesn't have 6 Super Bowl rings. He has about, I don't know the exact amount, but he has about 9 or 10. And I remember him being at the Super Bowl ring party after we won one of them. He had them all on with the Giants as well, all the rings. I'm like, dude, how do you have 10 rings? I forgot about his tenure when he was with the Giants as the defensive coordinator and was winning Super Bowls then. So Coach Belichick, absolute legend of a coach. He's been in the game for so long. He deserves to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, no doubt about it.
Yeah, surprised that Robert isn't in yet, considering his resume. An absolute slam dunk. Well said by you. Let's move on here, and thank you for that. And that's a nice little celebration for your Patriots, where you were a Patriot in 2025 for like 12 minutes. Gronk spiked your way back into the hearts, and now this team has 10 straight wins, and now they're the odds-on fave to win the AFC. They're the freaking 1 seed. Gronk, isn't that insane?
It is insane, and everyone talks about their schedule not being tough, but I don't care what you say about that because it's just remarkable to go from, I would say the worst team in the NFL last year. If they lost that last game, versus the Bills, they would have had the #1 pick. So we'll say the worst team in the NFL to the best team in the NFL. That turnaround is just unheard of, and just be able to pull it off. It just shows that Vrabel's that good of a coach. He was that prepared to come in, and he was that ready to come in as well and turn that program around. It also shows RKK why he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer, why he should be in it, because he's doing anything. He's willing to do anything to turn that program around once it tanked over the last 3 years, and he sure did that, and he did do everything in his will to get it turned around. So it just shows, even when things aren't going well, RKK wants it to boom again. But I don't see why the Patriots won't get the #1 seed. Yes, there's the Denver Broncos still, but the Denver Broncos have a very tough schedule ahead, going to finish the end of the year. I can just see the Patriots maybe possibly losing one of the games, one of their final 4, and they're still going to make it as the #1 seed, because I think the Broncos will take I think the Broncos have the tiebreaker, but I think they'll lose 2 games, in the next 4 going up. So you got to be all in with the Patriots now. They're on a 10-game win streak. They're dominant on all 3 levels of the on the field, and special teams, defense, and offense. And it's just impressive, just overall what they're doing. And you can't say, oh, well, they're going to get tested this week. They got to play this team. That's over. They proved themselves now. I'm all in on them. They're the team to beat in the AFC, and it's shown with their record.
And he got the Gronk bump for when you sat down with him. I mean, his game really went to another level after you hung out with him for those 12 seconds that day.
Hey, Kay, put it this way. When I went to the University of Arizona, what was it, October 2nd weekend, and I did the Rocky Gronkstone as the basketball player. I went to the University of Arizona football game. Both teams at Arizona are still undefeated to this day. Arizona, I'm actually disappointed in our Arizona football program because we're now 9-3. So we kind of outplayed ourselves to go to my bowl game that I have December 13th. It was so lined up that we were going to pick the University of Arizona, but now they're going to be picked for a higher tier bowl game. And the basketball team is, I think, ranked number 2 right now as well, and they're undefeated. So when I go to these stadiums, when I go to
Gronk
these
bump.
organizations, I give them a morale boost.
Yeah, it's a Gronk spike turned into a Gronk bump. I actually believe that might have something to do with this. It's so exciting. And then you have this news about like Robert Kraft, who like it's very weird that he's not in the Hall of Fame. And then I was just thinking of right now about like Bill, right? So let's go back to that for a second. Like I can't imagine being Bill watching the success of this Pat squad right now too. Like that's part of this. And then this morning he wakes up and he finds out, or maybe he found out yesterday, like you're a finalist, you could potentially be enshrined. If you're Bill, or if you're the Hall of Fame, like there's got to be some hesitancy there to make that happen. Like I'm looking at the win list right now, right? He's 14 wins away from Shula. You can't, I'm not convinced that NFL chapter is over for Bill. Are you?
You know, it's tough call. It's tough to say because there's so many openings right now, and I believe that Coach Belichick, you know, his mold and his style fits more in the NFL compared to where he's at now in college football. But I can never discount him out that he won't be back in the NFL some way, somehow, you know, but I just right now, I just don't see where and when and how it fits.
Could you see, I'm here at MetLife today. Could you see him taking that Giants job? You know, Jackson taking those hits, young quarterback. Obviously, the defense has a lot of potential. Like, could you see him being a Giant? Like, that's an opening that's interesting.
Yeah, it is a very interesting opening, but I just don't see that possibility happening right now. I think if Coach Belichick does go to the NFL, I think it's going to be at least another year or two when you know, things settle down more, when he gets more established at the University of North Carolina with whatever happens down there. So I think there's just too much tension out there, you know, of what's going on, you know, as the head coach of UNC. Their season just ended, and I can see him going back to the NFL, not this year. And even though there's openings, I would say it would at least be another year out.
You know, he was here 12 seasons, I think, as an assistant. Might make sense, but I might think there might be a little hesitation to enshrine him, given that I don't know, they don't enshrine active coaches, you know? So he's got to really, really be done for that to happen. And as we all know, retirement isn't a thing. It's not a thing. Speaking of the Giants and Jackson Dart, you know, when that play happened, I was like, oh, and then I was kind of like, oh, when he said it's just, you know, it's not soccer and that's a play that needs to happen. It's part of the game. I'm going to play aggressive. You have said that you would not change the way that you played the game. You've had injuries. It might have taken time off the bat. What would you say to Jackson Dart?
Yes, I mean, I love Jackson Dart's heart. I love his passion for the game. But Kay, I was not a quarterback. I was a tight end. I mean, you got to set the tone at that position. You got to set the tone as a player. When you're a quarterback, you know, it's a whole different style. You know, you got to be available for your team on every given basis. And you can't take those injuries, you know, because a quarterback is so meaningful to an offense and to an organization. So I would say that Jackson Dart, you know, like I said, I love where his heart is at for the game of football, but he's a young buck right now. He can take those hits. But I'm telling you right now, you know, you do it again, he's going to start feeling it. And when he starts feeling it, he's going to finally learn, hey, I got to go out of bounds. I got to slide. That extra inch isn't worth it. I mean, I can get beat up and then I'm not 100% and then I'm not giving my best effort to the team and then we're not in the best position to win games because I didn't slide and I took that extra hit from a 250-pound linebacker who's designed to absolutely murder me out there whenever he has the chance. So Jackson Dart, taking easy. I think he's going to learn in the future once those hits start, you know, adding up and you start feeling it. Because when you're 21, 22, 23, you're invincible, you feel like, and you think nothing can take you down. But I'm telling you, it all adds up in the end. And as a quarterback, hey, I'm here to just say, take it easy and slide when you need to.
It feels like he's wired this way. How do you unwire yourself?
You unwire yourself when you start feeling those hits, Kay. I mean, that's kind of when I unwired myself. Yes, when you start, you know, you wake up the next day and you're like, dang, man, I can't really move as good as I was moving yesterday. Well, because I took 10 10 hits from NFL players throughout the whole entire game. And I even learned, Kay, when I was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, hey, I'm not, super proud about this moment, but I think it's hilarious now. I caught a pass 5 yards out from Brady my last year. We were playing in Atlanta in the Mercedes Dome, and there was three guys. I turned around, ran about 5 yards, and there's three Atlanta Falcon defenders in front of me, and they were all about to gang up on me. And I literally, as a ball carrier, as an NFL tight end, I slid. I mean, this was never really highlighted though. Like no one's really brought it up. It wasn't like on
my
next
gosh.
day bloopers. I slid instead of getting tackled and gave
Gronk.
myself up about 12 yards down the field. The stadium started booing me right on the spot, and then they noticed, well, it's Gronk that was the ball carrier. The guy's taken so many hits in his career, and then they started laughing. The stadium started laughing after that, and then also on top of it, I rewatched the play. I would have gotten absolutely 0 more yards. So it was the smartest thing for my career at that
Ooh.
moment. Instead of taking the hits at 32 years old, I just slid because that's when you kind of start getting I rewired myself to know not to take those hits when it's unnecessary to do so.
But Bill was not telling you when you were a young player, coaching you up on how to not do that? No.
I
He was
love
like,
that.
"Go-
I love that question, Kate, because I have another great story here.
Tell
My
me."
rookie year, another time in Atlanta, my rookie year, I caught a 5 yard out pass. Linebacker grabbed my legs. I wouldn't go down. Safety came. He absolutely blew me up. I wouldn't go down. Another linebacker came, absolutely lit me up. I went 0 extra yards. The next day on film, Coach Belichick says, I love your toughness. I love your mentality. He goes, but in this case, this is not a case where you want to try to get an extra yard. You're going to damage yourself more. He goes, when it's necessary and you need it to get a first down and you need to get, those extra yards for the team, that's when you fight for it. But in this case, Rob, please go down. You've shown your toughness. We understand where you're at. But when it's like that, don't take those extra hits. It's going to pay in the future. And it's not going to pay off in the future. You're going to feel it in the future. And Coach Belichick was right. And it still was in my mindset, throughout the year. Hey,
Well, you
go
didn't
down when
listen to
necessary.
him.
I did listen to him a little bit, Kay. When it was truly unnecessary, there was times out there, if you go back, when it was truly unnecessary, I would go down and say, hey, the
Yeah.
journey's over. But when I knew there was extra yards to beat, I knew we needed to get the moral of a big hit or a big time play, well, then I would keep it going. But there was times, many times in my career where you might have not noticed it, but I went down on purpose. I mean, you could play into it, and I
Yeah.
went down just because I didn't want to take those extra hits.
You have to have like discernment, which comes from experience, coaching, just doing it a lot. He's young, different position, which I think is so like so fair. Like he's a quarterback. He can't be doing this. But you're saying that Bill, it seems like Bill did help. Bill helped. There's a way that you can have it coached out of you. That unwiring, that protecting yourself for the greater cause, that adding of discernment in these situations where you're not going to get yards and picking the right time. Who is, in your opinion, the coach that would be most beneficial to be able to do that with Jackson? Like who is a name? Kafka, maybe. Kafka played quarterback, so maybe like does he need like a quarterback friendly coach? Does he need like a hard ass like Tomlin? Like who would be best at that for him?
I don't really know, for that situation. I would just say it kind of takes experience and time, to not take those hits. I mean, you see Josh Allen. Josh Allen's the perfect example because Jackson Dart kind of plays a little bit like Josh Allen. I'm not going to compare him to Josh Allen because Josh Allen's in his own category and he's
Right.
proven. But Josh
A lot
Allen,
bigger.
he knows when to go down. You see him slide when it's necessary, and he goes out of bounds when it's necessary. But when they really need that first down, when they really need that big play, Josh Allen, goes the extra inch and takes the extra hit. But hey, God forbid, Josh Allen is also way bigger than Jackson
Way
Dart,
bigger.
too. They might be the same height, but Josh Allen has some size to him. But I would say that's the comparison. Josh Allen learned, hey, when it's truly necessary for the team and when it's truly not necessary for the team. And I would just say it takes experience. And for coaching wise, I mean, any coach can kind of coach you on that. It's kind of, pretty obvious when to slide and when not to slide. So someone just needs to be in his ear so he doesn't take the necessary hit when it's unnecessary.
It's well said. And we're talking coaching. So I have to, obviously Ben Johnson took his shirt off. So you and I talked about Josh McDaniel being, an attractive coach. I told you the NFC North's where it's at. Gronk, we had this moment. Have you ever seen Bill Belichick with his shirt off?
Oh yeah, it's pretty a scary moment.
In
I've
what
seen it happen before, but
when?
it,
When?
it's I can't recall, but I know I've seen it before. But Ben
You
Johnson, let's
erased it
get
from your
back to Ben
memory.
Johnson. He's pretty jacked. He is. He's pretty ripped. I see why he would take his shirt off. I mean, he's showing the players what's up. Look at him go. I'm surprised. He is that diesel. There's a lot more diesel coaches in the NFL now than compared to back in the day when the typical coach was just way overweight. So you got to give it to Ben Johnson hyping up his players, and he's doing a heck of a job. They're the number one seed in the NFC right now, and it's well deserved for him to take off his shirt and keep it going. If it's him being him, then I'm all for it.
Have you been to Wiener Circle?
I don't know what Wiener Circle is.
Oh, Wiener's Wiener
Yes,
Circle
I don't.
is a 24, I think it's 24 hours. It was when I lived in Chicago. It's a hot dog joint in Chicago, and the gimmick is like the wonderful people who work there just like yell at you. They like read you for filth. And you have to almost like give it back to them to get your order. It's definitely like a unique experience, and that's why he took his shirt off, because they said they'd give out free hot dogs to Chicagoans if he took his shirt off. But they said this like a long time ago, so I'm wondering if he's been like hitting the gym more because he was like waiting for the right moment to take his shirt off. You know what I'm saying? So he
Yes,
looks.
yes.
That's
So it's
probably what happened there.
premeditated.
He was getting
I
pumps
really,
in.
yeah, I really like that of Ben Johnson. He's not just for the team; he's for the whole organization. He's for the fans too. So I'm telling you this: Chicago's absolutely loving Ben Johnson right now. And I bet you the line for those free hot dogs
Look at
is down the street, probably a
look,
mile
yeah.
or two long. You look at that.
There
I
it
love
is.
it. I love
Yeah.
it. Good for the city of Chicago. They deserve the Chicago Bears need to be good every year. It's good for the NFL. It's good for the city. It's good for the Bears, and just overall the fans as well. They're so passionate in Chicago. This is great to see the Bears back, and it's because of Ben Johnson as well.
I agree. You have Ben Johnson, shirtless maniac, calling things out in press conferences to get us all these things. And then you have Matt LaFleur, you know, two very different dudes. I don't think they love one another either, based off just like I don't know anything, but there's a real rivalry, and it's a rivalry renewed here between the Bears and Packers, storied over 100 years of going at it. It's been one-sided. How does this go? What does this come down to? Bears Packers week 1 of 2 this season.
Oh man, this is going to be a great game. And I said it last week on Thanksgiving. I said the winner of the Detroit Green Bay game is actually going to win the division. I love where the Bears are at. Very surprised that they're in first place, but they got a tough schedule ahead. And I think Green Bay is the team to beat, especially after that Thanksgiving win in Detroit. But I would say whoever wins this game is the more disciplinary team. Whoever doesn't have those costly turnovers. We know Green Bay is going to go out there and they're going to play great on defense. Can Caleb Williams really step up to this challenge and do what's necessary, out there and make the right reads instead of making mistakes and giving easy turnovers over there? So I would say the winner of this game is determined off of the turnover battle.
Bears have the Packers twice, Niners and Lions over the final 5 games. I think they're on a 5-game win streak. We're talking about the Patriots' 10-game win streak. You've been part of big streaks. You had a big streak on the way to a 4th Super Bowl, I believe, down in Tampa, second half of the season, last couple games. Can you just like tell me something about streaks I might know? It's a tough question. I'm sorry to put you on the spot like that, but do we buy them? Is it like, I guess it ties into momentum. I would be upset if I was on a streak because I would only see that you can only go one way. It's going to get ruined.
I'm just laughing to myself.
What?
I'm just laughing to myself because I'm just picturing Will Ferrell going streaking right now, okay? In the movie Old School. Yeah, and that's what everyone brings up. Everyone brings that up. It just goes right to their mind whenever they hear the word streak.
Not me, but I'm glad it does for you. But what do I need to know as an NFL fan? What do I need to know about these streaks that a couple of these teams are on, especially down the stretch?
I would say the streaks are more important down the stretch than at beginning of the year, because going into the playoffs is where you want all the momentum. You know, you want your team healthy. That's first off, the most important thing is who has the healthiest team going into the playoffs. And then the streaks. I mean, you can get on a hot streak at the beginning of the year, which we did, I think in 2015 season we were 10-0, and then we lost to the Broncos, which was kind of a BS loss. I mean, there was a couple bad penalties that went against us from what I remember that year that kind of ruined the streak. And then we were kind of iffy from there on out after winning those first 10 games. So I think the Patriots getting their losses out of the way at the beginning of the year and then being on this streak, and then same with the Bears on this streak, it's great for them because they've already got some losses, so they know how to overcome those losses and learn from those losses. It's not like they're on a streak where, you know, they can get knocked down on a streak and then find their way to bounce back up. They already had to do that, both of these teams. So I think they're in good positions with these streaks. They're good momentum builders. And going into the playoffs, they need to keep it going as well. You don't want to dip. Everything matters more after Thanksgiving.
If you could play the Bears, Packers, obviously Fox, Packers 6.5-point faves. Which coach would you rather play for, LaFleur or Ben Johnson? Who's more of a Gronk coach? Who'd get the most out of you and why?
I really like both of the coaches. There's no doubt about it. But I'm going to go with more of Ben Johnson just because we know he's just a true offensive guru. We've seen what he did with the Detroit Lions last year. We're seeing what he's doing with the Bears. I mean, the Green Bay Packers offense, you know, they're just a vanilla type of offense. They're more on that side, more conservative. The Bears, they're letting it all go. That's the type of football that I like to play, is just letting it all go, you know, not being conservative, taking chances. And Ben Johnson's doing that. He's been doing that his whole entire career. So I just see, you know, and with him taking his shirt off, that's a Gronk move right there. So I just see Ben Johnson fitting my mold more, even though I do really believe both coaches are great.
And both coaches know how to use tight ends and get the most out of them. So I was just a little bit curious about that. So that game will be on Fox and all of that. Let's go to the AFC quickly and talk about these Bengals. Oh my goodness. I'm looking at the North, right? Who wins the AFC North? I'll put it to you that plainly.
Oh, so we got the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers are at the top. Dang, I don't think the Cincinnati Bengals can pull it off, even though they got this little burst right now with Joe Burrow.
Should we look at their schedule? Do you want to see their schedule?
Yeah, they do got a pretty easy schedule. I mean, they got Buffalo, Baltimore, Miami, you know, Arizona, Cleveland. I mean, it's going to come close. I'm hoping that they win, you know, the next like three and they make it appetizing and they get the fans biting their, you know, nails to see if they can pull it off or not. But I think the Steelers or the Baltimore Ravens, one of them is going to go on a hot streak. One of them is going to get a couple wins in a row. And it's either one of those teams that's going to win that division. And I would probably say, dang, it's so tough because it's just so tough because you believe in Baltimore and then they just tank, and then you believe in them and then they tank, and then you believe in the Steelers and then they tank, and then they have a great
Nobody
offensive
wants to win this
then,
division. It's insane.
No one. I mean, it's hard to tell, but I would say Baltimore or Pittsburgh because one of those teams will go on a semi streak.
I think the Bengals are going to win the North.
I don't know. If the Bengals weren't 4-8, if they were like 5-7 right now, I would give it to them. But 4-8 is a very tough hole, you know, to climb yourself out of.
Yeah. Can you pick between the Steelers and you got two injured quarterbacks. One's got 9 injuries every week, and one of them looks like one of the wet bandits in Home Alone with his nose beat up. Pick one. Which one of those gentlemen you think is winning the division? Go on.
All right. Since I got to pick.
Joe Burrow.
He looks like Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in that division right now.
He is.
I'm in Baltimore. This defense, I've never seen anything like it, and neither have you, because you played with the best quarterback in the National Football League in history. And when he was out, Jimmy G, they kept it alive because you had great coaching. You guys had great discipline through and through. And I bet you Tom was a part of all of it. It all stayed on the rails. I'm not saying Flacco's bad. Flacco could have. When Joe was back on that field for pregame, I'm not joking, it was the defensive guys, Gronk. It was the DJ Turners. It was those guys saying, we can freaking win now. We're going to go win. We're going to drop. We know we can drop 30 plus. We're going to dig deep, and that's what's going to happen. And that was like, I've never really seen anything like that. This idea, no T. Higgins, Joe Burrow inspires that belief in them. So in me, I think that they're going to win the division. Go on. You tell me who you think.
I like, I like the direction that you're going, Kay. It makes sense. And I can't argue Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the division. What he did on his comeback, after being injured for a couple weeks and then showing up in that game, just phenomenal play. You got to love what he just did. And Cincinnati Bengals fans were definitely thankful on Thanksgiving that he was back and grateful for Joe Burrow. But I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they got the most complete team in the division. They just got to put it together. And there's a lot of nonsense going on. There's a lot of he, she, say, and what's going on with the Steelers organization. I feel like they're going to put it together. They're going to finally dig deep. We've been waiting for Pittsburgh Steelers Nation's been waiting for them to steal up, to get tough again. And I feel like they're going to dig deep once again, and they're going to be able to pull it off and drive down the field and pick it up in all aspects of the game. They have the pieces to do it. They just got to finally dig deep enough to pull it off and do it.
I feel bad for Aaron. I do.
I mean, he's playing good football. It's not really on his shoulders. Yeah, I feel bad too. That's why I said, they got to pick it up around him. And once they do, if they do, I feel like they can possibly. And the defense has to pick it up as well for the Steelers. And they're known for their defense, and they're not, playing so great. And I feel like they can, though, still, especially with, TJ Watt over there on the defensive side of the ball and his skill set that he has. But I do feel bad for Rodgers. It's not on his shoulders. He's playing great ball going into his 40s.
He absolutely is. And I think that, interesting. We'll take a short break. You take your water break, my friend. Hit it, Hammy. All
right, it's time for Prop a Shot. Last week we had a lot of action. Gronk, you went a perfect 3 for 3. Kay, you were 2 for 3. I think there are allegations that you fled LA because Gronk made this comeback and tied you, and you didn't want all that smoke here in studio. Not for me. I'm not saying it, but people are saying it. How would you respond to that?
I would respond. I want Gronk. As long as I keep whatever this is from Gronk. Gronk, keep it going. What is this? I'm in. I'm going to be very nice today. Yeah. Gronk's in the club. Guess what? I'm going to kick him out of the club like he did so many years ago on the NFL field. Let's do this.
All right, Kay, we're gonna start with you because of the disappointment. I feel bad for you.
We'll start with you today. Me.
All right, Jared Goff's line for passing yards, 252.5 against the Cowboys tomorrow night. You going over or under?
252.5 on FanDuel Sportsbook, everybody, where you can get all of these props. You should definitely play along with me, with Gronk, against each other, mix and match with everyone. I'm going to take the over here because the Cowboys defense has been a lot better. But they're still going to give up some yards. So I think Goff has a big old day at home.
All right, Gronk, your turn. Dak Prescott's line for passing yards, 268.5. Does he go over or under that?
All right, Hamilton, K, we got to remember here, this isn't a typical Thursday night game. Why? Because both of these teams didn't play on Sunday. They've had a full week of rest and recovery and a normal schedule to prepare for this game. So this is going to be a shootout. Both teams, they both have a high power, firing offense, and they're both of their defenses are iffy, every other week. So I think that Dak is also going to come out firing, and he's going to go over 268.5 passing yards. He's going to at least have 269 passing yards, if you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, we know what to talk about.
Thank you, Gronk. All right, okay. George Pickens' line for receiving yards has been climbing. It was 77.5 yesterday. It's up to 80.5 as of this morning. Are you going over or under that?
I'm absolutely going over. He's averaging a 126 a game over the last 3 when it matters. Good sample size. He's going to crush that over. That's a really generous one that everyone should go to FanDuel Sportsbook and hang out with this weekend or before tomorrow.
All right, Gronk, your turn. Jahmyr Gibbs, his line for rushing yards, 76.5. Does he go over or under that?
Hey, that's low, Hamilton. I absolutely love the game that Jahmyr Gibbs brings to the table. His speed is just phenomenal, and just watching him play at the running back position, it gets you excited. So I'll never go against Jahmyr Gibbs. He's going to go over 76.5 yards in rushing.
Yeah. Good.
And Kay, you were 2 Jahmyr Gibbs yards away from going a perfect 3 for 3 last week. By the way, you were that close.
Thanks a lot. Hey, I appreciate you. Thanks so much for that.
One anytime touchdown score for the Lions. Kay, who you got?
I'm going to go back to the well with Jahmyr Gibbs. My fave. I love him. He has some crazy hamburger at Ford Field that has like pizza and pepperoni on a hamburger, on a cheeseburger. Then you get like a side of blue Sour Patch Kids. I forget what it's called, but it's a Levy food situation. So I love that. And I'm going to go with Gibbs. He's averaging over a touchdown a game this year. So they got to lean on him, right? And by the way, we should not have done this without knowing what Amon-Ra is going to do. This is absolute BS. I call BS on you, Hamilton, with whatever that over was on Goff when you might have not have Amon-Ra. So I see you. I hate you.
I mean,
go home.
Seeing Tom Kennedy and Ross Dwelly on that anytime touchdown score full screen is something. Mine's dealing with a lot of injuries right now. Gronk, one anytime touchdown score for the Cowboys.
Hey, let me just apologize, Hamilton, for Kay. She's just sour that I went 3 for 3 last week, and I'm about to take the lead this week as well. It's all about how great you play after Thanksgiving. That's when the real football season starts, Kay. You don't listen to me, okay? So, got to get into it more. And you got to, bear it down like Arizona, and you got to have better picks. But this is going to be a high-powered offensive game. Like we already talked about, the running game is absolutely going to be phenomenal on both sides of the ball, too. So I'm going with Javonte Williams to have an anytime touchdown score.
FanDuel Sportsbook, guys, that's where you need to go take a look. Let's take a look at mine. That's the Javonte Williams anytime touchdown score. I'm saying apparently Jared Goff over 252.5 passing yards. Sus. George Pickens, definitely. That 80.5 receiving yards will definitely go over that. And Jahmyr Gibbs, please, 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 my anytime touchdown scorer. Gronk has really good picks. It's really nice to see Gronk have such nice picks here. Dak Prescott, over 265.5 passing yards. That seems pretty safe and nice. Jahmyr Gibbs, over 76.5 rushing. That's really that's a great one to teed up for you, Gronk. And Javonte Williams with an anytime touchdown score. There's a great odds on that at minus 135. Those are our props. We love you, Gronk. Have a good week. We'll see you soon.
Yes, take care, guys.
Appreciate you. By the way, speaking of FanDuel Sportsbook, we have another $2 million Thursday touchdown jackpot. Gronk's the cover boy for this game. All you got to do is pick an anytime touchdown score. And if your choice scores the first or the last touchdown, you win a share of the $2 million jackpot. So freaking appreciative of Rob Gronkowski today. We will be back after this.
I do have to say here, Jared Goff against the Green Bay Packers, amazing defense, without Amon-Ra, had 256 passing yards on Thanksgiving Day. So, on a short week. And he's in the Dome again. He's at home.
I'm being upset world watching because I turn in my, what do I think of these props, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of them, and it's Matthew Hamilton's literal job to make sure I know Amon-Ra has a thing going on. And I wasn't that privy to that. And yet I don't see any text here saying, what do you think? Just so you know, he might not play. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
He's been getting it done,
It's as if you didn't want to tell me, so I'd keep it as an over. So Gronk could surpass. It's as if that might have been in your head. Let me not tell Kay this so she can't change it in time for the show.
You don't believe in Jared Goff? Come on.
I don't believe in you being the puppet master in this way.
That's fair.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of action going on.
What do we got now?
I don't know why they wouldn't even show me the album cover. There's a whole see this? Look at all that hoopla
Oh, wow.
going on down
Flash
there.
bulbs going off. Let's go.
Show us the cover. I want to see the cover. And then I'm going to have to run down there. Hello, show us the cover.
Put it on the Jumbotron.
What should I ask Brendan Donovan? U.S. is in which do we know where they are? Do you know? Can you look that up? We don't. U.S. We know which group they're in, right? We don't know.
I know the draw is Friday, where we find out who they're playing.
But all the home teams.
They're in Group D, and they play in
but
as we talked about.
all
LA,
of the host countries are in Group D, right?
They're all
No.
in pot
Not
one
one.
for the drawing. Yeah.
That's what.
So
it
they
is.
can't play
Okay.
each other. Yeah.
What should we do for the rest of this program? and no guests for tomorrow. I want you guys to tell us who we should go beg to come on this program. Who do you guys want on our wish list? On your wish list? Marcus Jones would be amazing. I'd like him in the next couple weeks. Who else?
I want a Charger. We haven't got.
They revealed it, I think.
Oh, there we go.
I think. Oh my gosh, I don't know. What should we talk about right now? Welcome back to Evan Adams. Huge thanks to Gronk. Huge thanks to Matthew Hamilton for cheating, collusion, showing us what can happen when there's a lack of integrity in the game of prop-a-shot, giving all the easy layups as props to Gronk, and then not warning me about potentially not having Amon-Ra playing on this short week.
Most
that's fun.
Sour grapes of all time. It's okay.
Yeah. We will be here tomorrow. I need to know who you guys want as guest. Who would you like to come analyze some things, pick some things, maybe a soccer player? I could probably get us a soccer player. Landon Donovan, he's over there. Pavel Pardo is down there as well. I'm excited to have a fun afternoon with Panini. I loved this show. Great intel. Great underreactions. Marcus Jones, we see you. Devon Achane, we see you. And we will be back tomorrow with who? I don't know. Where will I be? I also don't know. Hamilton will be living in a cardboard box in a van down by the river. All right. See you guys soon. See you tomorrow. Get the FanDuel Sportsbook. Getting those proper shot bets for Cowboy Lions.